I'm starting to think that my weighted jumps progression is going along a little slowly, and that is not really because I'm struggling with it. It's probably more of a self-imposed limitation. Last time I went up in weight on both dumbbells, so I'm doing two 7-kilo dumbbells over the 6 kilos that I was doing in the past weeks. And what I was thinking to do in terms of progression was to go up in reps and then possibly add some height to the box or go for the higher red box. In this session here, I was doing sets of 6, and accidentally in the second one, I actually did 7. And at no point there, in that last rep of the second set, I felt like there was a risk of me not clearing the box and potentially flinging the weights around the gym. So what I'm thinking is I might be going for either higher reps straight away or just go for a higher box and see how that feels like. But enough rambling about weighted box jumps. After that, I was getting into the usual superset where I was doing weighted push-ups into med ball slams. And the weighted push-ups looked okay. I noticed that I am really getting in this idea of keeping my torso, the upper body completely straight, and actually trying to minimize the little arching in the lower back that I still have to some degree, but I noticed that my legs are straight and I'm tapping the chest to the floor on each rep, going up straight and not really feeling any discomfort in the rotator cuff, which is still kind of the main concern, even though the injury is finally clearing out, or at least it seemed. In this session here, I was doing 2 sets of weighted push-ups. In the first one, I got 11. In the second one, I got 10. The last one on the second set was a bit hard, but it was not a grinder, and I think I still had one in reserve. So hopefully next week, I will be doing maybe 12 and 10 or maybe 11, and I'm thinking that if I can do 2 sets of 12, I could just go up in weight to 20, and whatever that takes me down to, I'll keep progressing from there. And now that we're into the jumping part of the session, I went back to doing a bit of right and left approach, because I've been doing left-right for the last few weeks, and I want, now that they're kind of similar, to just keep progressing them alongside each other for the coming months, as I will be going for a lower volume in terms of jumping. So I would like to just keep them at a similar level until the next warmer season comes and I can get into more specialized training there. Then I was supersetting the jumps with low raises, and actually in the second set I was doing the low raises before, because the jumps usually tend to pump my heart rate very high, and it's just better to do the low raises before. But in this session I was also going for a drop set with eccentrics only, which made it a tad bit harder. So after about 11 reps I was getting in another 5 eccentrics just to get some extra stimulus in the shoulder. This set here of the two-step approach jumps is kind of crazy. Although I'm still looking down on each single repetition, which is something that really drives me insane, I was still able to get 4 jumps at 700 milliseconds. And yes, my tracking method isn't really that precise, but at least it's consistently imprecise. And I was able to get 4 jumps of 700 milliseconds here, which is decent considering that I'm still making dumb mistakes in terms of technique. A few jumps, I wasn't really feeling that bouncy off the floor, so definitely I could have got a bit more on those. And there's this thing where I'm looking down that it's really not really conducive to jump higher, because if I am looking down instead of up, my body follows the head. So it's the most basic thing that I still have not interiorized and put into my work. I don't feel like there's any point in improving technique and looking at all these small details if then I cannot address the main glaring red flags and concerns with the approach that I'm taking. In this set here, I was aware of that, and I was really trying to look forward at least and not looking straight at my feet. It's probably a reflex that I have. I don't know, I feel like I'm falling down. That's silly, but yeah, I really have to look on this. But other than that, it was a fun session. Ciao.